Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning. This is the Senior Moment Show. I am your host, Sid Roeder. And today we've got a fun guest here, Jenna Hyatt. She's with Northern Title. Good morning, Jenna.
Good morning, Sid.
It's good to have you here. Let me quickly, before we dive into what we've discussed before, let me introduce our sponsor really quick, which is the Empowering Seniors Group, a group of professionals that have dedicated their time and effort to provide information to seniors, their family members, caretakers, and all those wonderful people that listen to us every Saturday morning. If you'd like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. You can email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. And lastly, if you have any suggestions for this show, anyone you would like to see us invite, you can call me personally at 435-512-6406. Well, back to you, Jenna. Northern Title. Maybe we'll start off with introducing you a little bit. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and maybe why you chose to work for a title company.
Great. Well, my name is Jenna Hyatt. I currently work for Northern Title Company. You can reach us at 435-752-3600. I have been in the title and escrow industry for about 24 years now. When I started, I was actually in college and I was looking for a job. I saw a posting for a typist and I thought, well, I have no idea what a title company does, but I can type. So why not? So I interviewed, I got the job, and I started typing up title commitments. So that's kind of my introduction to the title world. And from there, I don't know if you've heard, but the title industry kind of sucks you in. And it's really hard to get out. So it's something that I really loved and learned as I've gone and grown with it. And it's just become something that I've really loved being involved in the real estate industry.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And maybe tell our listeners a little bit, because I know people have questions. What does a title company really do?
That is a great question. We do a lot more than drink Diet Coke and eat chocolate, which we've had that question a lot. What do we do while we wait for documents? Well, there's actually a lot and a lot that happens behind the scenes. So we work hand in hand with real estate agents and lenders in the Valley and out of the Valley. We provide title searches for properties that are being listed for sale. So once a property is under contract, that contract is sent to us to start the title work. So we conduct a search on the property to make sure that we can issue free clear title to the new owner. So what that includes is a search for any liens, judgments, anything that's going to affect the marketability of the property moving forward. So we prepare that, send out the title report to the parties involved, and we move forward with trying to clear up any issues that would prevent closing from happening or that need to be paid off through closing. We also prepare all of the documents needed for the sale of the property while working hand in hand with the lender on the loan side, receiving loan documents and making sure the buyer is ready to sign on that as well. We finish up by recording the transaction, putting it into the name of the new owner, and we also are that third-party fiduciary, and we disperse all of the funds related to the transaction.
That's great. Maybe you can talk a little bit about what are some of the issues that pop up that are a problem in a transfer of a property?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm sure everybody has heard a little bit about title fraud. So a big question for people is, what exactly is title fraud and how does it happen? So one form of title fraud is actually title theft, and that happens when someone steals a property from its rightful owner by illegally transferring title into their own name. So how does this happen? A fraudster forges your signature on a fake deed, and they intend to transfer ownership out of your property or out of your name to themselves. And then they'll try to either sell that property or borrow money against the property. So what kind of properties do these fraudsters target? A lot of the time they're going to target vacant land, which is often owned free and clear, meaning there's no current mortgages on the property. And a lot of the time, the owners of these vacant land properties don't live in the valley. They're out of state. They're not right on site watching that property. So big red flags.
Yeah, that's actually, if I can just pipe in for a minute, that's
please.
Actually one where I had an experience as a real estate agent, because I had someone approach who wanted to sell a property and send me a copy of his ID. As a real estate agent, I am aware of title fraud, and so I did a quick check on Facebook with the name and discovered that the person carrying that name lived in Hiram and did not look like the person on the photo that was shown on the ID. So the ID was fraudulent already. So, of course, I took the liberty to contact them and let them know that it looks like someone is trying to do something fraudulent with their property. And they were grateful to know about it. And, of course, through the Realtors Association and title companies, I spread the word so everybody knew if that was coming onto their desk that they needed to refrain from representing this illegitimate owner.
Yes. And Sid, you hit it right on. Watching for those red flags is huge. So we had a similar situation where it was an elderly couple that owned some vacant land, and they, for fun, liked to go through the Zillow properties and check them out. Well, what did they come across? Their own property being listed for sale. So first thing they did was contact the listing agent and say, hey, you've got my property listed for sale and we're not selling. Watching out for, okay, did somebody mention to me that my property is listed for sale, or did I see it listed somewhere, or are agents trying to contact me about my property I have listed for sale that's not actually listed for sale? So great red flags. We also have a lot of things set in place. A lot of the time a seller can sign remotely. And they have security set up to where they have to identify themselves. So a lot of the time with those fake IDs, they won't pass through that system because they've got to answer security questions entering into that system. So those fraudsters are going to try.
Yeah, and I'm glad you guys have some security in place. There's also some other fraud types that are going on, and maybe we're already coming up on our first break here. So maybe we'll talk about some of those issues after the break, because there's also wire fraud that you guys deal with and we deal with in real estate. And the Utah Association of Realtors has actually come up with a specific form that we have our clients sign to make them aware and not run into that. So we're coming up on our first break, but Jenna, I wanted to give you another opportunity to maybe mention your contact information and your address in case somebody has a question for you.
Absolutely. I'd love to help out with questions. Again, Jenna Hyatt with Northern Title. Our address is 160 North Main right in Logan, Utah. Phone number 435-752-3600. You can even reach me at my email address, Jenna, Jenna, @northerntitle.net.
Thank you, Jenna. This is the Senior Moment Show. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is Scott Howder with White Pine Funeral Services. Creating healing experiences for your family and your loved ones will always be our mission at White Pine Funeral Services. With many years of experience in caring for people from all walks of life, you can expect compassionate care, high integrity, and excellence in service from our team. We will continue to provide you with memorable experiences, celebrations of your loved one's life, and beautiful memories of the time you shared. We invite you to visit whitepinefunerals.com or stop in and visit us at our beautiful location at 753 South, 100 East in Logan.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
Need a helping hand? The Bear River Association of Governments, also known as BRAG, is here for you.
They assist seniors with in-home services, provide utility bill relief through the HEAT program, and offer rental assistance to keep you housed.
Need help with tax prep? Their experts ensure you get the refund you deserve. And for veterans, they're here to connect you with the benefits you've earned.
BRAG is your local resource for a stronger today and a more secure future. Call today or visit brag.utah.gov.
Picture this. Your family's locked in court, fighting over your home and your assets because there was no plan. Don't let probate decide your future. I'm attorney Justin Wall with Wall Estate Solutions. Stay in control with wills, trusts, and smart planning that keeps your family out of court and your wishes protected. Get peace of mind today. Visit wallestate.law or call 435-294-0346. That's 435-294-0346. Your legacy, your plan.
Did you know 1 in 3 people will visit a nursing home? Did you know that once there, they will stay there for an average of 3 years? Did you also know there are insurance options that can help cover this experience? Hi, I'm Tracy Ferris with Blue Water Health Insurance. It's not cheap to stay in a full-fledged nursing home. Long-term care insurance can help you or a loved one get the care they need and deserve. If you wait until you need it, you may be too late. Give me a call at 435-890-8155.
Getting around your home should be easy and safe. At RT Med Mobile, they provide wheelchairs, stair lifts, ramps, and electric lift chairs to help seniors maintain independence and comfort. Their friendly team offers free in-home consultations to find the perfect solution for you or your loved one. Locally owned and here to help. Call 435-260-6171 today. RT Med Mobile, because your mobility matters.
Welcome back. This is the Senior Moment Show. I'm your host, Sid Roeder, stumbling into the second segment, and I'm visiting today with Jenna Hyatt. She is with Northern Title Company here in Logan. Welcome back, Jenna.
Thank you, Sid.
We've talked a little bit in our first segment about title fraud and that these fraudsters attack often land that's owned outright by their owners and put that up for sale. How can someone find out? Maybe let's start with that. How do you ever notice if something is going on with your property?
That is a great question, Sid, and one that a lot of people don't think about. Anything that is recorded on county records becomes public record. There are a lot of companies out there who will offer services to property watch your property for a fee. The great thing about most, if not all, counties in Utah is that they have something called Property Watch that is a free service that is set up through the county recorder's office. So that is something you can set up yourself online. You can just go to cashcounty.gov and to the recorder's office, and then you look for the link that says Property Watch. Information you will need to sign up for this is your tax ID number, which you can find on your tax notice, the name that the property is held under. If you don't have that information, you can also call your recorder's office to get your tax ID number. They can provide that for you at no cost. Another thing, you can always call us as well, your title company, to reach out to find your tax ID number or information that you need. Another question that people have is, what do I do if I get notification? Because that's what this Property Watch is going to do. It's going to watch and it's going to notify you at the email address provided if anything is recorded on your property. So if you get notice that a deed has been recorded and you have not done anything on your property, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to call a real estate attorney. They're going to be able to direct you on what exactly you need to do. They're going to help you through the court system because, unfortunately, you now will have legal fees involved. You'll have to go through the courts to ultimately get something recorded stating that that was a fraudulent deed. Now, a nice thing to remember as well is when you've purchased your property, if you purchased or had provided for you by the seller at that time a Alta homeowner's policy of title insurance, then that does provide some coverage against fraudulent deeds. So that's something you're going to want to look at, which your real estate attorney can contact your title company for that as well.
Right. In your experience, have you ever seen the process happen in action? Do you have any stories that you can share here?
Yes, I can share a story. So kind of bouncing off of the story we shared in the last segment about the elderly couple who noticed their property listed for sale. Well, what they didn't realize is that a closing on that property had already occurred. So as they found this out, the title company that was involved was able to provide some information for them. They also were able to, because of the timing of everything, which is key, you want to act as fast as possible, but they were able to stop the funds from being wired. They were able to notify their bank that that was a fraudulent transaction and to try to freeze those funds.
Okay.
And another thing that we as title companies have in place, and I can speak for Northern Title, I don't know what other title companies have in place, but we do contact anytime we receive a contract for vacant land especially, we're going to send a written letter to the owner of record just to make sure that we say, hey, we've received a contract for the sale of your property. If you are not selling this property, contact us immediately. And then we have regular communication with that seller throughout the transaction. And then, of course, at closing, we have to have information for the proceeds of that sale go to an account under the name of the owner of record. So those are practices that we have in place to make sure that we try to avoid any potential issues. Now, what you are going to see, we had a situation, it wasn't my title company, but when I've heard about a property in Park City that was listed for sale by a fraudster who had recorded a fraudulent deed, used a fraudulent notary, but it was on record. He actually had a sales transaction contracts with two separate title companies that he was trying to get recorded simultaneously, I guess, to get the most out of the transaction. So it was found out through the title company and working with the real estate agents. And when they came to closing, the ID that he had did not pass through the secure systems that were put into place. Nice. So that's another big clue, especially make sure you have your real estate professionals in place to help you out. Make sure you know if you're representing the seller or if you are working with a title company that you know how that seller is going to close. Are they closing in person? That's the preferable situation to avoid potential issues. Or does that title company have remote services that are going to be set up with security portals set in place? So those are really important issues to get out of the way right at the get-go.
Yeah, you just basically fed me the second question I have. So obviously for a landowner or property owner of any sort, it's definitely going to be a lot of hassle to reverse anything that's been recorded.
Absolutely.
But what's the damage to the buyer that has paid out funds?
Right. And that's who's mostly going to be affected by title fraud is the buyer, because not only do they not have an actual interest in the property that they thought they just purchased, but they could be out thousands of dollars. And that's why it's great to be set up with this Property Watch program, because if you receive that notification and you act immediately, a lot of the time the funds that buyer sent in can be frozen, or they can be paused, or they can be at least found. So not always, and it depends on that timing. So that's why you always want to make sure that you do have great real estate professionals in place on your team to make sure you try to avoid this at all cost.
Yeah, absolutely. And I usually tell my clients, and so do all the agents that I know, that if you, even after a transaction, you bought your house 5 years ago, if you have any questions concerning real estate, reach out to your agent that you've worked with. They're usually able to help, or at least get you in the right direction to get some assistance there. This is the Senior Moment Show. We are coming up on our second break. Let me quickly mention our sponsor again, which is the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. Again, this is the Senior Moment Show. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's tough knowing how to care for an aging parent. Mom has always been there for me, but now I need to be there for her. When we found out she needed surgery, I wondered how I could attend to her needs and still be mom to my kids. I was so relieved to learn about transitional rehab at Maple Springs in North Logan. From the nurses to the physical therapists, it was like their whole staff was focused on helping Mom get better. Maple Springs in North Logan was an answer to my prayers.
Learn more at maplespringsnorthlogan.com or call 753-9400.
Want an inexperienced surgeon?
Okay, nurse, I'm ready for the scalpel.
How about an inexperienced airline pilot?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain, and I'm terrified.
Experience matters, and we have it.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty. I am a senior real estate specialist. I'd love to meet with you face-to-face and give you a free consultation and market analysis. Call me today at 512-6406. Then list it, sell it, and move on.
Are you tired of feeling unwell and not knowing why? At Next Level Health and Wellness, we hear you. We specialize in uncovering the root causes of your discomfort, whether it's gut health, hormone imbalances, or emotional and mental blocks. With personalized plans, advanced lab testing, and evidence-based holistic nutrition practices, we guide you toward lasting health and wholeness. Awaken your healing potential with a team that listens, understands, and supports you wherever you are. Visit nextlevelhw.com to start your journey to feeling better today.
I think Mom needs a little more help.
What I really need is a boyfriend who can drive at night.
Hi, this is Bruce with Comfort Care. With Comfort Care at your side, you can live your best life possible. We know families can't be there 24/7, which is why we can help with as little or as much home care as you need, so you can live in your own home on your own terms.
Could you give me a phone number? My daughter was texting.
Together with Comfort Care, you can live your best life possible. Call us today at 754-7676. That's 754-7676.
This is Oliver with Cache Valley Pharmacy. We're working with Cache Valley's own Focus Pharmacology and CacheMedical.org to help you lose weight the right way with supplements that support your weight loss journey and easy telehealth appointments from the comfort of your own home. When you think weight loss, think Cache Valley Pharmacy, your partner for a healthier, more confident you. Visit us at CacheValleyPharmacy.com or go to CacheMedical.org to start your weight loss journey today.
Welcome back. This is the Senior Moments Show. I'm your host, Sid Roeder, visiting today with Jenna Hyatt. She's with Northern Title Company here in Logan. Welcome back, Jenna.
Thank you, Sid.
We've talked about fraud today and the fun things that go on in our industry and how we can prevent it. And maybe I want to, before that gets lost again, Cache County and most, you said all other Utah counties in Utah have a setup. You can sign up for Property Watch. How does a person do that?
Yes. And most, if not all, counties will have this free Property Watch program. So you can call your local recorder's office or you can jump online to their website and you should be able to sign up there. Just make sure that you have your tax ID number for your property as well as the name as it is shown on your tax notice.
Yeah, and that service is free because I also know, because I receive those all the time, there are organizations that advertise that they will watch that for you, but it's associated with a fee. You don't have to do that. Cache County and Box Elder County provide that for free. So yeah, let's maybe talk a little bit. One thing we haven't touched on that is another fraud issue that's come up in our industry is wire fraud. Do you want to explain how that comes about?
Yes. This is a big thing that we have seen in our industry over the last several years is wire fraud. So how does this happen? So as title companies, we require, so the state of Utah has a good funds law. Anything over $10,000 is required to be in the form of a wire transfer, not an ACH transfer, must be a wire transfer. So a lot of real estate transactions are going to require a wire of some sort. So each title company has their wire instructions set up on a form that we send around to buyers, to lenders, and we always note, please verbally verify these before initiating any kind of wire transfer. Does that always happen? No, it does not.
Yeah, I always try to warn my clients, and I also warn them about, because this is what we've seen, emails that they receive days before settlement. I know there was at least one instance in Cache Valley where a buyer received an email from a title company, and I'm not going to say it wasn't yours, I think, that received an email that looked authentic. It had the logo and everything on it. There were just some minute changes, the phone number, and I believe they added some lettering into the email, and they were informed that they had been given the wrong account number for the wire, and the individual wired a lot of money. And by the time they sat at Title, and Title Company said, we have not received your funds. From what I was told, it had already gone through 6 countries before they ever, so there was no way to recuperate that. Great loss. So listen to your real estate agents and your title companies when they warn you. If you receive emails that, just sound off, call your agent, call your escrow officer at the title company, double check double check the account number before you wire that. It's a quick phone call to the phone number you already have in hand. Don't call a number on an email. Call the number that you've already talked to before, or call your real estate agent to get the right number and confirm that account number.
Yes, absolutely. And that was a really unfortunate incident. I remember hearing about that as well. So one thing that happened during that transaction is the wire instructions were sent to the real estate agent who then forwarded them on. So they passed several hands. And these fraudsters, what they're doing is they're watching those emails and they're getting that important information and switching it up. One important thing to remember is that we always have a phrase on our wire instructions. These instructions will not change throughout your transaction. So any red flags like that, yes, please always call a trusted number to your title company and verbally verify those. One thing that we also provide is if you're more comfortable coming in and receiving those in person, absolutely stop by our office anytime. We're happy to print those off for you, go over the amount that is expected, and then you'll take those in hand straight to your bank.
Yep, that's how it works. I can only caution there. We're sadly getting towards the end of our show. Is there any quick story or anything else that we've missed that you'd like to share, Jenna?
Yeah, I'd love to share. Just remember to watch for those red flags. Quick story on a real estate transaction that we had. We were sent a contract from an agent who was really excited about this buyer who was from Hong Kong, and he was only available through email. Another red flag, right? Yeah. And then his earnest money came in the form of an overnight check from Oklahoma, was more than what the earnest money should have been. And he wanted that money, the overage, wired back to him. Another big red flag. Another instance is he was paying cash for the remainder of the transaction, and all of his money was being held with a financial planner in Canada. So another red flag, which we called to follow up on. There was no such account there. So just always please remember to watch for red flags. If something feels off, it probably is.
Thank you, Jenna. We just have enough time for your phone number again and maybe your location.
Yes, absolutely. Northern Title, 435-752-3600. We are located right on Main Street at 160 North Main, right in Logan.
Thank you, Jenna, for coming in. I think this was very educational. And again, also, if you have questions and you can't remember Jenna's phone number, mine works too, 435-512-6406. Be careful out there, and let's beat those fraudsters. This is the Senior Moment Show. We hope you tune in again next week.